Hello ladies and gentlemen, this video will be for you for year 2025 analysis of your ascendant from sidereal and also from tropical modern astrology perspective. So for example, if you would have ascendant sidereal ascendant Aries, your tropical ascendant will be Taurus. If you don't know at what time you were born, then you apply the moon sign. So it would be moon in Aries. Sidereal astrology would correspond to moon in Taurus, tropical modern astrology. So this will be how I will be looking at the 12 ascendants. Also, why we look at the ascendants? Because this, according to the ancients, very ancient tradition, the Ascendant is the house of life. This is more important even than the lunar sign or than the solar sign. So we derive the horoscope first from your rising sign, from your ascendant. So this is how I will be looking at your ascendant and your future year 2025. And of course, what I will do is I will be looking at the most important transits. They are so very important for year 2025. And of course, we'll be looking at the eclipses. They are also very, very important because in year 2025, the lunar nodes change positions and also with themselves, they take the eclipses. Also, we're looking at a major conjunction of trans-Saturn planets and so on. So this will be a general analysis of your future for 2025. If you want to have very specific, very detailed reading with me, which will include primary directions, which will include the method of Time Lords techniques, which will include progressed horoscopes and solar revolution, then you may like to book a personal reading with me. And for year 2025, you can find a reading with a discount, which is valid for the month of December and also January. So if you want to have discounted reading, detailed analysis of your future and of your natal horoscope, you may book such reading with me. So let's hear now your ascendant, description of your ascendant and the future of 2025 for you. Hello ladies and gentlemen, with sidereal ascendant Sagittarius or moon in Sagittarius, or if we are following the modern tropical astrology, this will be Capricorn. So we're looking from the two perspectives, sidereal and modern tropical astrology. If you don't know at what time you were born, then you can apply your moon sign. So it will be sidereal Sagittarius moon or tropical moon in Capricorn. Now in this video I will be informing you about the most important planetary placements, transits and also eclipses of the year 2025. This is quite general. If you want to have more detailed analysis of your natal horoscope and the future 2025 and further, then you may like to have personal reading with me. Now, where to start from? So your ascendant is Sagittarius, the planet which is ruling you, because ascendant is the house of life. This is the most important house in the horoscope. So now as we speak, since May of this year 2024 until 19th of May of year 2025, Jupiter will still be in Taurus. On 19th of May, Jupiter is moving out of Taurus and will stay 1 year in Gemini. Of course, this is very significant. Now, while Jupiter is in Taurus, he actually is emphasizing for you, for your horoscope, on the importance of your sixth house, which is routine, job. This is the house of domestic animals. This is the house of people who share your routine environment with. So Jupiter there actually is blessing your work, blessing your health, blessing your routine, bringing some peace, especially when it comes to people who are sharing your working environment. On 19th of May, Jupiter is entering Gemini, and this is your 7th house, and there Jupiter is fallen. So this would say this Jupiter is a little bit weakened. He can be a bit disharmonious. He's not really harmful because this is Jupiter. He can be a little bit disharmonious when it comes to romantic life, romantic relationships, personal relationships. Also because at the moment when he will enter Gemini, he will be receiving disharmonious aspect from Saturn, who at that time already will be in sidereal Pisces. So the two planets will be forming square. This would say that for the next year, especially after the 19th of May, you may need to be careful, diplomatic, loving in your romantic life, personal relationships, entrepreneurship, business, agreements, negotiations. You may need to be diplomatic and you may need to be balanced. There is also a little bit the risk that when Jupiter will be fallen in your 7th house, you will put the partnerships before yourself. This is not very much allowed by the universe. You need to have balance between yourself and also your partner. I'm now talking about Jupiter, and I chose to start this analysis for you with Jupiter simply because he's ruling your ascendant and he's the planet which is very important for you. We'll be looking also at the other planets. Now, on 6th of June, Jupiter is becoming invisible, to become visible again on 14th of July. 14th of July, in the 13th degrees of Gemini, he'll be blessing then something good, something in your relationship. This will be good. But from 6th of June until 14th of July, you will be missing his blessing a little bit. Keep this in mind. So 1 year of Jupiter in your 7th house, this is not bad, but it is a little bit out of harmony, which you may need to balance yourself. Also, let's start with what we call in the ancient astrology 1st of Nisan. This is the beginning of the lunar year. The month 1st of Nisan is happening when the moon appears for the first time after the sun enters the point of the vernal equinox. Okay, the equinox is vernal for the northern hemisphere and his autumn for the southern hemisphere, but in any case this is important tropical, so-called tropical point, and the equinox is very, very important. Therefore, once the sun enters the equinox point, the first appearance of the moon after that is when we have the beginning of the new lunar year. This is happening on 30th, 31st of March. And this is happening, this time it's a little bit ominous, this is happening in Aries. The moon appears in Aries. So on the day of the equinox, we're having Venus, Mercury, Neptune, and the Sun in Pisces, your 4th house. Venus will enter Pisces on 18th of April. Why also on the 30th? Because she's retrograding. Yes, so later on the 18th of April, she's entering Pisces again. So yes, indeed, on the 31st of March, Venus will be with Mercury, with Neptune with the Sun on your 4th house, and the first appearance of the moon is happening in Aries, which automatically makes Mars very important. 5th house is this in your horoscope. 5th house is related to pleasure, creative knowledge, children, creative activities, talented work, joy. So Mars becomes the moon appears for the first time visible in Aries, Martial house. So Mars is very important. Your fifth house is very important. This is about children, your relationship with children, your creative knowledge gains, creative activities, talented work. This will be somehow emphasized. Talking about this, what is Mars doing in the meantime? In the beginning of the month of the solar year, in January, Mars will be fallen detriment in Cancer. From 7th to 16th of January, the retrograding already Mars will be in a little bit difficult phase, which is called a chronicle rise. This phase is making Mars a little bit angry, so to say. So he is not very benevolent, and this is your 8th house. This is about money via partnership, money of your partner, money from unexpected sources. So then Mars is a little bit disharmonious. He can be a bit afflicting, you know. He can be a little bit weak and also unpredictable. So when you make financial decisions, financial deals, be a little bit careful. 7th to 16th of January. Then on 7th of January, the retrograding Mars is entering your 7th house, relationships. This is, he will be alone there. Jupiter is not there already yet. So this is 17th of January, retrograding Mars is staying on your 7th house until 7th of April. Quite long. This would say, you know, this is Mars there is peregrine. He doesn't have specific powers. He's peregrine. He's not fallen. He's not detriment. He's not exalted. He's nothing. He's peregrine. This is a bit weak Mars, but in Gemini, he's less afflicting than in Cancer. But Mars in your 7th house, especially when we know that you see he's until 7th of April, this energy of Mars there is a little bit disharmonious. You may need to be very diplomatic, very loving, forgiving in your personal life, diplomatic when you communicate in your business negotiations. You may need to be you know, intuitive, diplomatic, a little bit more careful. And this is, I repeat to you, from 17th of January until 7th of April. So on the 24th of February, he's turning direct, still in Gemini. He will be direct in the 21st degree of Gemini. This is the star Sirius. This is not bad. This can be something new, something interesting, because the star Sirius has a very benevolent nature. Mars is emphasizing on the importance of the star Sirius when he is becoming direct. What this would say? New connection, maybe something new agreement, new business opportunity, something new person, or new connection with power, something like that. Then on 7th of April, Mars is leaving Gemini and is entering again Cancer, where he will stay until 8th of June. Again, I repeat, the same situation. You have Mars in Cancer, this time direct, financial decisions, try not to be impulsive, negotiations related to finances via partnership, and so be a little bit diplomatic and careful. I don't say that Mars will not allow you to make money. No, it's not this what I say, because Mars is not the planet which is forbidding, but he can create the chaos and disharmony. On 8th of June, he will be entering your 9th house, and actually this is a very good month until 30th of July, when he will be very good to give you drive, to study, to communicate, to travel, he can give communication opportunities, media work opportunities, so like he will make you very driven to such activities in a very good, positive way. And then he will be on your 10th house until 25th of August, and on and at certain point he becomes invisible to take away with himself something out in your career, and later on in 2026 when he becomes visible he will bring something new. This is about Mars. This is what is very important. On 9th of December he is entering Sagittarius to stay there approximately a month, but this is what is happening in the end of 2025. Another important situation that we should also mention, on 6th of April, right one day before Mars will enter Cancer, Saturn is entering your 4th house to stay there 3 years. Saturn is entering your 4th house to stay there 3 years. There he will meet Venus, Neptune, and Mercury. Big deal is this. The 4 planets will be in, even the Sun will be there. Saturn is entering your 4th house. This is very big. He will have to fulfill for the next 3 years the karma for your 4th house. Saturn is the Lord of Karma. How is he going to do that? He will, in Pisces, he will work on a very subtle level. Be a little bit, how to say, maybe attentive with your parents, health-wise a little bit. He can give you situations like relocations or in a little bit disharmony related to property, home relocations. That's why you may need to be very organized, very time-oriented. In addition, there is an important event which is important for the whole world. On 12th of July, Saturn and Neptune, both stationary, make exact conjunction on your 4th house in Pisces. This is big. This is happening in the 7 degrees of Pisces. This is a section of Pisces which is ruled by Venus, so this is good. But they both meet there. Why this is so important? Also because on the 14th of July there is aspect coming from Pluto, because this is very big. Historically, I checked how this worked out in our past. Historically, it is very big. When this conjunction would take place, we had even changes in the social system of the world. We had really revolutionary changes. And this is your 4th house. This is home, this is property. It can have direct influence on your career, money gains. Very important. So this is 12th, 14th July, and this is an aspect which is valid for 20 years ahead. Very important. So I mentioned to you about this. Then let's look at yes, on 18th of June of 2024, Uranus also changed position. He entered Taurus, where he will stay for the next 7 years. Uranus is the Lord of change. Luckily, when Saturn will enter Pisces, they will not be forming square, they will be forming sextile. This is good for you and for the changes which Uranus means in your 6th house. Most probably the changes are related to your routine, health matters. He can introduce new health information, knowledge, and so to you. This is 7 years, very long transit, and it will have to do also with your routine and job environment changes. On June 9, Mercury becomes visible as an evening star, as Hermes, in the 7 degrees of Gemini, and this is very important. He becomes visible. This is again good, maybe for business, for connections, for your relationship, for negotiations, something interesting. And now let's see what is happening with the upcoming eclipses. Now this is on the 30th of April. The lunar nodes will change their positions. They now, as we speak, from beginning of October 2023, the lunar nodes are in Virgo and Pisces. Rahu, the head of the dragon, is in Pisces, and Ketu, the tail of the dragon, is in Virgo. This way, during year 2024, the eclipses took place on the axis of your career and home. So the eclipses 4 or 5, one is arguable of the year 2024, but let's say 4 eclipses were influencing and maybe causing at times some delay or some, disharmony, challenges in your career or home environment, or something with communication with parents, for example. So the eclipses would be emphasizing during the whole 2024 this axis of yours. In 2025, the lunar nodes are changing their location. They move backwards, retrograde, and they will enter the axis of Leo Aquarius. Ketu, the tail of the dragon, will enter Leo, which is 9th house of your horoscope, and Rahu, the head of the dragon, will enter Aquarius, which is the 3rd house of your horoscope. Then we shift a little bit the importance and the intention on these 2 houses, 9th and 3rd house of communication, long distance travel, studies, philosophies, involvement of brothers and sisters, teaching, media work. This will be very important. So in year 2025 we have 4 eclipses. 2 still will take place, one in March and one in September, on the axis of your career and home. So the situation of year 2024 is not over. But 2 eclipses also take place on the axis of 9th and 3rd houses, which I told you is about studies, philosophies, communication, media work, and so on. So if in case that you have midheaven, lower meridian on one of these axes, 10th, 4th houses, 9th, 3rd houses, it means that the eclipses really influence your life. And this would say that you need to be very intuitive, even alert, to see what the eclipse energies would mean for you. So the first 2 eclipses are on 15th of March, lunar, and then 29th of March, solar. This would say this is automatically portal for change. This would say around the timing of the eclipse, because you have the first portal or corridor, 15th of March, 29th March. So a week before the first eclipse and week after the second, this is time period which you need to consider as time period of not doing so much, no new beginnings, no new initiatives. Wait and see what the eclipses will bring to you. When the eclipse portal is over, you will see, the universe will show you. The very same is valid for the second eclipse corridor, which is taking place on 7th of September, the lunar, and on 21st of September, the total solar. Like the first one is happening on the axis of Leo Aquarius, and the second one on the axis of Virgo Pisces. Again, the same is valid. I would say the whole month of September, wait and see. Don't be very active in your career place. Wait and see what the eclipses will bring you. So this is, I think, the most important. I mentioned to you about the most important positions of planets in the year 2025, and this is also about the eclipses. So I think that there is not such very heavy affliction in your horoscope. Don't worry so much. Just, follow your intuition. Be especially intuitive around the timings of the eclipses. Be happy, be fearless, be brave, and you will attract the same vibration. I wish you great 2025 and see you very soon. Bye bye.